But it also raised, some valid concerns about privacy.
Of course.
And it's fascinating how OpenAI addressed those concerns head on.
They did. They gave us granular control over ChatGPT's memory.
They did.
We could tell it to remember something specific, ask it what it remembered, or even instruct it to forget things.
I remember that. It felt like they were really prioritizing user agency and control.
It did.
It was a clear example of how OpenAI was striving to balance technological advancement with those ethical considerations.
Absolutely.
They weren't just throwing out new features, right?
No.
They were thinking carefully about the implications and empowering users to make informed choices.
And that commitment to user control was evident in other updates throughout 2024.
Yeah.
Like the launch of the GPT Store and the ChatGPT Team Plan.
Yes.
Both in January.
Both in January.
It was.
The GPT Store was a watershed moment, don't you think?
It was.
It opened up a whole new world of possibilities for how people could use and interact with AI.
Right?
Suddenly, anyone could create and share their own custom GPTs, right?
Yeah.
Tailored to their specific needs or interests.
It was like the App Store for AI.
Exactly.
I remember seeing this explosion of creativity.
I know.
With people building GPTs for everything from writing poetry to analyzing financial data to helping them learn a new language.
Yeah, it really was a testament to the power of democratizing AI development, right?
It was.
And then with the ChatGPT plan, teams could collaborate in a shared workspace.
Right.
Using those advanced models like GPT-4 and DALL-E 3.
Right.
Boosting their productivity and just unlocking these new levels of creative potential.
It felt like AI was becoming seamlessly integrated into our work and personal lives.
For sure.
Enhancing our capabilities and opening up new frontiers of collaboration.
And let's not forget how they made ChatGPT with voice available to all users in November 2023.
Yes.
No longer just a plus-only perk, right?
Right.
Anyone could just download the app and have a real-time voice chat with ChatGPT.
Oh, I know.
It was like having a conversation with a brilliant friend, but without the awkward silences or the need to type everything out.
I remember using it for the first time and just feeling this sense of wonder.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was on the cusp of something truly transformative.
I know, right?
Like science fiction had become reality.
It was a glimpse into a future where AI could become such a natural and intuitive part of our daily lives.
Totally.
And they didn't stop there.
No.
They were working on image capabilities, right?
Yeah.
Allowing ChatGPT to analyze images and provide insights.
Yeah.
And that became generally available to Plus users on all platforms in September 2023.
I remember seeing demos of people using ChatGPT to troubleshoot problems around their house.
Oh, really?
Like they'd showed a picture of a leaky faucet.
Wow.
And it would walk them through potential fixes.
That's incredible.
It's like having a handyman on call is like 2047.
That's amazing. It was a powerful example of how multimodal interaction combining voice, image, and text could make AI so much more versatile.
It was.
And integrated into our daily routines.
And remember how in September 2023, they started rolling out language support for the ChatGPT interface?
Yeah.
It started with a handful of languages, but it was a significant step towards making ChatGPT accessible to a global audience.
It was a move towards breaking down language barriers in AI, making information and knowledge more accessible, and fostering global collaboration.
For sure.
Really important.
But, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
It's true.
In July 2023, OpenAI had to temporarily disable the web browsing feature.
I remember that.
Because it could sometimes display unintended content.
Right.
It was a reminder that even with the best intentions, there could be unforeseen consequences when you're dealing with powerful new technology.
It was a tough but necessary decision.
It was.
And it highlighted the need for constant vigilance, ethical awareness, and a willingness to adapt as AI evolved.
And adapt they did.
They did.
Well, October 2023, browsing was out of beta and reintegrated into the platform.
Right.
But this time with more robust safeguards in place.
Good.
And just a few days later, they started rolling out the beta version of DALL-E 3 integrated into ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
Which DALL-E 3 was a huge leap forward in image generation.
It was.
Integrating it into ChatGPT meant that anyone could create these stunning visuals based on text descriptions.
I know.
Without needing any artistic skills or expensive software.
Exactly. It was like having a personal illustrator at your fingertips.
And they didn't stop there.
They kept going.
They kept tweaking and refining existing features based on user feedback.
It was great.
In August 2023, they rolled out a bunch of updates to improve the ChatGPT experience, adding things like prompt examples, suggested replies, and even the ability to upload multiple files for analysis with the code interpreter.
It was clear they were paying close attention
They were.
to how people were using ChatGPT and
Yeah.
constantly striving to make it more intuitive and user-friendly.
For sure.
I mean, they even made it so we could stay logged in without being kicked out every 2 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, it was a small change, but a welcome one.
It was the little things.
It really was.
Little details.
And then, in a move that felt both inevitable and exciting,
they finally made GPT-4 the default model for Plus users.
it was a sign that GPT-4 had matured
It had.
and become the reliable workhorse they intended it to be.
It did.
But even as they were refining those core features,
Right.
they were already looking ahead, pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
Always.
In November 2024, they rolled out a major update to the web experience for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Redesigning the sidebar, adding a new floating mode, and making it much easier to navigate and manage conversations in GPTs.
Yeah.
It was a much-needed refresh,
It was.
making the whole experience smoother and more intuitive, especially for those of us juggling multiple projects and conversations.
Wow, for sure.
Right?
Yes.
And then just a few days later, they launched advanced voice mode on the web,
Yes.
allowing us to have those real-time voice conversations with ChatGPT on our desktops.
Yeah.
Just like we could on the mobile app.
It felt like another step towards integrating AI seamlessly into our digital lives,
It did.
breaking down the barriers between humans and machines.
And remember how they kept expanding access to those advanced features?
They did.
In August 2024, DALL-E 3 was made available to ChatGPT free user,
Right.
though with a limited number of images per day.
Yeah.
But still,
That was huge. It meant that even people who aren't paying for a subscription could experience the power and creativity of DALL-E 3.
exactly.
It was another step towards democratizing access to these advanced AI tools.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then in July 2024, they introduced GPT-4ao Mini,
Yeah.
a smaller but still incredibly capable model
Right.
that was more cost-effective and accessible to a wider range of developers.
It showed that OpenAI was committed to making AI not just powerful, but also practical and readily available.
It did.
Yeah.
It was like they were saying, we want everyone to benefit from the power of AI.
Yeah.
Not just those with deep pockets or technical expertise.
And that commitment to accessibility and user control was further emphasized in February 2025
yeah.
when they introduced a new UI for custom instructions,
Right.
making it even easier for users to personalize how ChatGPT responded to them.
I liked that.
I remember playing around with the new UI
Yeah.
and just being struck by how intuitive and powerful it was.
It was nice.
You could tell ChatGPT what traits you wanted it to have,
Yeah.
how you wanted it to talk to you, and even set specific rules for it to follow.
It really was like giving your AI assistant a personality makeover, right?
It was.
Shaping it to fit your unique communication style and preferences.
And speaking of personalization, remember in January 2025, when they added the ability to import content from a chat directly into Canvas.
Oh, yeah, that was a brilliant update.
It was.
It meant you could take an entire ChatGPT response,
Yeah.
or even just a code block,
Yeah.
and seamlessly transfer it to Canvas.
It was so smooth.
for further editing, manipulation, or visualization.
It made the workflow so much smoother.
It did. It felt like they were weaving together those different features of ChatGPT into a more cohesive and powerful whole, right?
Yes.
Creating a truly integrated AI experience.
And then in December 2024, they made Canvas available by default for all users,
Wow.
both free and paid.
That was a sign that they believed Canvas was no longer just an experimental feature,
Right.
but a core part of the ChatGPT experience.
It was.
And with the addition of Python code execution, a shortcut for pasting content into Canvas, and its inclusion in the toolbox.
Yeah.
I mean, they were making it even more accessible and powerful.
It was clear they were all in on Canvas as the future of interactive AI collaboration.
They were.
But they also knew that users needed ways to manage all this content and functionality.
Right.
Which is why they introduced projects in ChatGPT, also in December 2024.
Oh.